I just got done doing the first ride on this bike, and if you remember, or if you don't remember, I painted this gas tank with rattle cans, primer, base coat, and clear coat. But the problem is the finish was just not adequate. You can see how that's just not clear, right? It doesn't look clear. And you can see the light up here. It's not clear. All of this is pretty much orange peel. But I decided to come out here and try to polish this, and this is what we have now. Look at that. And then watch how the light changes. See that? Clear beam of light. We can look up here. Clear beam of light. Orange peel. What I plan on using, we got 1,000 grit sandpaper, 2,000 grit sandpaper. I was using 600 grit at first, but 600 seemed a little bit too aggressive. I was seeing a little bit of micro scratches left over even after polishing. I could use 800, but this is what I got from Harbor Freight, so this is what we're going to use: 1,000 to sand initially, and then we're going to use 2,000 to fix the 1,000 grit scratches. My polisher is going to be this Bauer from Harbor Freight. I'm using a 3-inch backing plate. These are, I think, griots pads. This and this, I'll have a link down below from Amazon. I've been using these for quite a while now. They're pretty good. Also, Meguiar's, we got the Mirror Glaze Ultra Cut Compound, Mirror Glaze Ultra Finish and Polish. I've used both of these as well. They tend to dust quite a bit. I can show you. It's very dusty, but it works really well. I'll leave a link down below to that as well. So we also have polishing pad, yep, griots. So orange cutting disc, polishing pad. I may either, one of these is going to be my polishing pad, but also we got this cup. We're going to put the sandpaper in it. We're going to wet sand, and we're going to get this done. The problem isn't looking far away, is when you get up close. And also because the light isn't reflecting off the paint perfectly, when you're outside and you see this in the sunlight, it basically eats the light more because it's not perfectly bouncing off of the paint. And so because of that, you get that weird, like, it's just a weird look. But like I said, I'm proud of it, but you know, we're gonna make it better. As much as you think just wiping it off with some cleaner cleans that surface perfectly, it doesn't always do it. So this is actually gonna be able to get imperfections out of the clear coat. Nothing crazy. I should have honestly did it. I didn't clay bar this part when I did this. I should have, but I didn't. But honestly, this is actually looking pretty clean. All right, I think we are ready for some sandpaper. So just to show you this, got a little bit of color removal on accident. Really hard to see, but I think I caught one of those edges. That's why it's so sharp. So this is the result of sanding 1,000 grit. You can see the difference right there on the left side, and this is the right side. So you're gonna get that cloudy like consistency. It's super smooth. And so, you know, this is a, what is this, a high spot? Maybe a low spot. But anyway, this is a portion where the clear coat is still in there. It's gonna be really hard to get that out. I'm not looking for perfection on this. I just wanna get a better mirror-like finish. If I spent hours on this, I would get a better finish, but this took all of like 20 minutes. You can see I've done essentially the entire left side. So next I'm gonna come back on this with 2,000, and then that's gonna smooth out all of the 1,000 scratches. But now I'm gonna do this treatment to, I guess, this side. You can do this dry as well, but I've been doing it wet. You just see it. Totally do this with a hand buffer. I'm still learning. I mean, a polisher or a sander, but I'm doing this by hand because I'm still learning. I do have a sanding block, but I'm gonna do it this way. Gotta stay away from those edges. There's not a lot of paint and there's not a lot of clear coat on these edges. So what happens is if you try to like go down and wrap around like that, you end up rubbing off you pretty much end up getting it down the primer. Learning that the hard way. There's a reason why these people say do not mess with the edges. Also, I made sure that I went back and taped up this because I nicked this part when I was wet sanding. And I don't really want to mess with this because honestly, this looks pretty perfect. But I really wanted to focus a lot on this. That's still rough right there, I can feel it. Feels gritty right down that edge. I think we're gonna get a good result out of this, folks. This is gonna look really good. I don't know if you can see it, but the finish, obviously it's cloudy, but the light in this cloudiness is no longer broken up. It looks more flat. I think we're gonna get a good result out of this. Really, really good result. Now I just gotta get a solvent, clean this, and we're gonna go and polish it. What you're looking at is essentially the preview. Once I buff that clear coat out, this is what we're gonna be looking like. Looking like a mirror. This compound, we'll see what it do. Clean that up. It's coming back, folks. It's coming back. You can see the spots that I missed already. It's crazy. Do this so you don't splatter it everywhere. Stuff splatters easily. All right, slow is better, as they say. Oh yeah. Now we're starting to get that mirror finish. Let me show you this. So I did take a minute to go in there and try to clean up all of that spray and stuff that I just threw everywhere, or that compound, but you can see that little mark right there. That is where I had my paint run and my other paint run that was here up at the top. Looks nowhere near as bad, but you can still see it. But that right there is where I missed with the polisher. I may have to go back behind myself and do that by hand. No big deal, but you know, it's kind of hard to get my polisher in there, at least this one that I have. But you can see, yeah, now we're starting to get that mirror finish that I was talking about. Look at that light, how it looks. You just get a clear beam of light, and that's what I wanted. You can still see a little bit of the scratches in there though, but nowhere near what we were before. And the light, you can see it right here. Straight beams. All right, it's a little challenging sitting down doing this, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I gotta do a little bit better because I'm seeing scratches in there. Let's see what I'm doing. What have I done to get that? But it looks a lot better. So I'm gonna try one of my other pads that I have. I wanna see if I get a different result. Just grabbing that gas cap a few times. Let's see what we got. Yep, I can start to see myself. Yeah, I might have to come back. I'm gonna try it again. I might just take the gas cap off and do it. I didn't want any of this stuff to get inside the gas cap. Yeah, man, we still getting some it's not as bad here. I think it's because of the sandpaper. I mean, because you're scratching the clear coat is what you're doing, but you know, I just got micro scratches. So take this. Go like that. Actually, I'm gonna cover up my vent line just a little bit. It can still breathe, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, I'm gonna come back here. Do this. that is looking good up here around the neck. And that is looking good. All right. It is really hard to get in that little crevice right there, but I think it'll be all right. Let me know what y'all think down below so far. What you think? I get it. It's not a professional paint job. I literally sprayed this in my backyard, and to get the finish that we have now, and there's barely anything. Really, it's just more so the scratches and got some of the dusting in my eye. Crap. Ugh. Some of the little imperfections, man. Crap, this stuff is, ooh, it's in my eye. The little imperfections, it's gonna be there, man. It's an $80 paint job, and this is my first time painting something like this next to the front fender that I plan on fixing too. But I can say, man, I'm satisfied. I can see myself in it. It's not like a bunch of runs. There's little scratches here and there. I'm gonna figure that out. And I think, you know, my overall goal with this was to be able to confidently say, if I need to, I can lay down a decent base coat and a clear coat for something that I need to put on one of these bikes, versus having to continue to source out to other people. Now, body work, that is still an art form that I don't have yet. Maybe one day, but my plan is to just send something out to have the body work done, and when I get it back, I can do the paint. So all I did was put that same compound on a microfiber pad, and we just hand buffing it out. Gotta apply some pressure with some elbow grease. That's what that portion looks like now. And right in there. I could have took the tank off, but that's just a lot of work, man. Just did it by hand, and it looks good. And down here, probably go back by this maybe one more time, right there on that edge, but yeah, it looks good. On the left side, gotta get that little bit right there. I'm gonna hand buff that compound on the microfiber pad, dab it on there. Just go to town, man. Just go to town, rub it in there. Yeah. Now, for those of you that don't know, there was a really bad run because the primer that I laid down, it blotched on. That does not look that bad. You can see the line right there. And also the spot that we fixed. Oh, I missed it. Oh my goodness. I missed the majority of it. All right, I went back and fixed it. Now you can see that run a little bit better right there. When the bike's sitting still, man, or riding like that, you can't even see it, man. It's in there. We know it's there, but you're not gonna be able to see it. All right, I think we're good. Wipe this off. We're gonna get a little fast on this polishing. Don't have to go as slow, but get good coverage. I'm gonna do the top first. Slung a little bit, but that's okay. Well, hello there, beautiful. I see you. Ah, damn. Boy, I could, woo, boy. Damn, boy, you look good. Woo. Right, so that's done. I'm gonna go back, throw some wax on this thing, man, and I think I may do the fronts and the tail, clean up those a little bit, and I gotta go in and clean all this over slinging that I've done and put this gas cap on, because it smells like gas in here. The wax that I use, easy, McGuire's Ultimate Paste Wax. I'll leave a link down to the stuff in the description. I've used this stuff, this same one, for I know 3 years, but the stuff is great. Pop that off. Whoa! Whoopsie. Let's see, pop this out and get that. All it takes is one little turn like that. That's probably too much. That's all I need. This to do the whole tank. I'm telling you, man, I love this. It smells amazing. And again, that same one, I've had this thing for 3 years. You can see just how much I have left. Ready to buff off. Oh, yes, 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 yes. This is why you don't do this in the sunlight, because the sun will bake this stuff on. You're gonna have a nightmare trying to get it off. This feels and looks like glass. So when you put that wax on, nothing really will sit on it. I'm gonna show you. It's like everything just kind of slides off. Because it's so silky smooth. That wasn't a good example. But no, it really does feel like super smooth. I'd imagine if I pour water on it, it would just kind of roll off. It wouldn't pull up. But the next step in this would be, you know, adding some type of ceramic coating. I'm not gonna do it. Not really worth it to me. But I really just wanted to get the finish looking better. Wow. Pour this out. That back on top. Yeah, that is stunning. You can see clear beams of light, not much change in the light as you're moving, coming to the side. I know that was the biggest part. This isn't perfect. I messed this up somewhere. I got more scratches right there, see that? And that's when I was using the 600, so the 600 was not the right thing to use. However, even with that there, you can still see, looks a lot better. The big thing to remember about this is that is me showing you the paint up close and personal. But seeing it from far away, seeing how the light hits it from outside, it's gonna be a completely different thing. You would probably barely notice that. The scratches, you may see that actually, because when the sun hits it, but being that angle of the tank, you won't really see it that much. But the majority of the orange peel is gone, and that's what I wanted. So now I'm gonna actually see if I can make this front fender look even better. Yeah, pretty much clean. Okay. Ooh. Drop that. If I drop it, I'm screwed. Okay. I'll be curious if I get those same scratches that I got before. But I gotta be careful right here, because that's where all of the there's not a lot of clear coat there. Well, some of you might be wondering, how long has this clear coat been on this and the gas tank? So the gas tank, it was on there almost a week now, but this has been on here for at least a month, 100%. So I think that's good enough. Because really the big part was trying to get this. I could probably go a little bit more, but it's not really worth me. Maybe if I had 800, but 600 I know is way too aggressive. This is gonna be enough. All right. I'll polish this out. I can still see it down in there. Like I said, honestly, that was deep in the clear coat. It really was. But I was nowhere near as good as painting this as I feel like I was the tank. All right. Unfortunately, that made us see it even better. So maybe I should have left that alone, because it brought it out. That sucks. That crap is super noticeable now. But you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I didn't know near as much what I know now with painting. If I were to do this again, this would not happen, or it wouldn't be as much. Yeah, what that is, man, that's just a defect at probably the first, maybe the first layer of clear coat that I put down when I did this the second time. To fix that, I would be almost at the base coat, and it's just not worth doing, because if I do that, I'm gonna have to repaint this whole thing, and I don't want to do that. So we're just gonna rock with it, man. It's a lesson learned, and this is just me. Honestly, it looks less orange peely, and it looks more like glass now, so that's what I wanted. Shoot, man. Made it this far. Might as well do the back. while I'm at it. So on the rear, I am not going to be doing any sanding. Well, when you actually use cutting pads, you're technically using sanding. But I'm not going to use actual sandpaper to do this because this clear coat's fine. It's from factory. I'm just going to buff it out and get some of the imperfections out. And I'm going to make this thing shiny again. That cleaned up some of that. Some of that's still there, but I'm still cleaning it up. I'm not gonna get all of it off, but it's, you know, trying to make it look 50% better. Because right here is where the seat kind of rubs and mars the fender. Not much you can do with that other than just, I mean, I think you can sand some of that out, but it's starting to, I feel like it's getting below the actual paint versus the clear coat, so it's a different thing. That's before. That's after. That's just one pass. So I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit, but definitely a big difference. Yep. That's exactly what I was looking for right there. That scratch is still there, but yep. That looks so much better. This is the part that I was most concerned about. Jeez, man, look at that. That looks like glass. But as I always say, man, compared to what we started out with, I will accept that. I'm gonna put this into perspective for you. This is an $80 paint job. We were able to make this look so much better. And I know I keep saying $80, but let me drop home the point. This, on my Purple Chief, this is a $500 paint job. See that? It's not perfect. See that clear coat? How it changes? It's not perfect. Yeah. Now this is dirty back here though, but same thing. It's not perfect. Does it look good? Yeah. Now, when I say $500, that includes the fender, the tank, and the front fender, and also a little bit of body work, but $80. And if we're gonna put it into perspective, $150 to pull the dents out. Before we move forward, I gotta give a quick shout out to my folks right here over at Patreon. We built this little community inside of this big community, and each active patron, like these folks right here, they get a spot on my wall. So if you're into that, those diehard Brandon Bicasso fans, I will leave a link down in the comments. Let's get back to the video. Yeah, so after cleaning most of my mess up, this is what we are left with. The tail end looks like glass, a lot better than what it did before. Made this look a little bit better. You can still see that parting line from the tape when I painted that. Front fender, we know that story. Looks better, but that is a very visual thing now. Back fender, or back part of the fender, looks good. And also the main reason we're even here is for the gas tank. It looks like absolute glass now. Compared to what it looked like before, it looks pretty freaking good. I'm very proud of this. The major thing to remember about this is that I got this bike from the salvage yard. This is what it looks like now compared to what it looked like before. Major progress, and this is my first time painting a gas tank. Actually, I think this is my second or third time painting something for motorcycles, but this is definitely the second time, or the first time I painted a gas tank. And I can say that the clear coat was the original issue. It just did not lay down smoothly coming out that can, but it was fixable. We got rid of the majority of the orange peel. Is it perfect? No, there's still some micro scratches in there that I got to figure out where that came from. But overall, I'm satisfied with this. I think it looks fantastic. And I think compared again to what it looks like before, this $80 paint job sets this thing off. And I truly think it looks well over a $300 and maybe even $400 paint job. It could be better though. I know some people gonna say, Brandon, it still looks like crap. Whatever. But anyway, I hope you learned something. And you know, again, I'm always learning myself. I learned a lot just doing this, and I'm actually gonna tackle my Indian Chiefs paint job because it has orange peeled paint clear coat, and I actually paid somebody to do that. So anyway, we'll see how that turns out next time. But anyway, you can click right here and check out the next video in this series as I get this bike back on the street. And as always, thanks for listening to my story. Yeah, hope you learned something, of course, again. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.